everybody, so today we're finally getting into the review of the new Natasha Denona eyeshadow quads. More specifically the rosy one, just because that's the one that I own, but we'll be talking about every single one of them. So let me get my notes because I did my homework. So these quads are the comeback of the OG formulation and shade pan size from her like brown, green, and purple blue eyeshadow palette. So that means there's 2.5 grams of product per pan. So 4 pans, 10 grams of product. This is retailing for like 55 bucks, and at first I thought that's hella expensive for 4 shades. But I did the math and we'll get there, and it's actually not that expensive. But I picked up the rosy shade for a reason, and we will be talking about that right now. It's the palette with the least repeat shades from our previous palettes. So the cool palette, we'll be looking through it as we speak. So Skift, it's reused directly from the Xenon palette. Stone is from the I Need a Nude palette. Opart is reused from the Retro palette. And Hush looks a lot like Jude from Retro, even though it's not the same. So it's pretty much a quad of repeats, and if you have I Need a Nude, Retro, or Xenon, you're already losing value within that palette. The Nude palette. Flutter is a new shade. Attic is from the Star palette, if you remember that palette. Shay is from the Safari palette. And Drift is a new shade. So even though neither the Star or the Safari palette are available anymore, they are still repeat shades. So take that as you will. If you have Safari or Star, you already have those 2 shades. So from the Rosy Quad, only the shade Affinity is a repeat, and is from the Love Face palette, which I do not own. So that was a quick math. This was actually the one that I liked the most upon seeing it. So being the one that has the least repeats made sense. So doing the math, the Nude Quad has 2 new shades. The Cool Quad has 1 new shade, and this one has 3 new shades. So something else that I was also like thinking about was the price, because 4 shades, 55 bucks. A meaty palette is 15 shades for like 75 bucks. It's more like 20 more bucks for a lot more shades. And that's still true. But I did the math for price per gram. And here's what I found. So when you look at the mini palette, so the 5 pan shadows, this is 29 bucks for 5 shades, which means it's 5.8 per shade. So that's 7.25 bucks per gram. This is the most expensive per gram type of a palette. When you move on into a meaty palette, this is 72 bucks for 15 shades, which ends up being 128 per shade. So per gram, this is 375, way less than these. Lastly, with the quads, this is actually 48 bucks. I've been saying 55 bucks. That's a lie. 48 bucks for 4 shades, so 12 bucks a shade. But since it has 2.5 grams, this actually ends up being 6.15 per gram. So obviously not as inexpensive as a meaty palette, but the mini palettes are actually more expensive than this one per gram. So you get more product for less money, if you see it that way. So at the end of the day, this is cheaper per gram, but the mini palettes have more variety, and there's a lot of more mini palettes that have new shades versus the quads. So if you do have a big collection of Natasha Denona, I would just skip the quads altogether, to be honest. You will find shades that look exactly like these ones anywhere else. So not a shop for me on that department. But I gotta tell you that I've been really enjoying it. I've been using it a lot. I feel like this is really good for traveling, which was the main purpose of me purchasing it. So at the end of the day, I think if it will come down to the fact that, do you have these colors? If you do, don't buy them. Or do you care that you get more product per gram here than you get in the minis? So do you care that this is cheaper per gram, or you don't? Or finally, do you prioritize convenience for travel or color diversity? If it's for traveling, go for this one or the mini. if you want more colors, then the midi is the obvious answer. Lastly, formulation, wear time, blendability, building the color. This is phenomenal. This is Natasha Denona. It's up to par with everything else if you've seen from her. So nothing to complain about it there. And if you do like the color, if you want it, go for it. It's good. It is worth it money-wise if you do the math. So I just wanted to talk about all that because it was blocking my mind a little bit since I bought it. And even before I bought it, I was just thinking about the fact that it was so expensive. But you do get a lot more product here than you do in any other palette. And so that's my final thoughts. I've been really enjoying it. I love it. I'm getting a lot of use out of it. And I'll leave you with the look with the quad because there's only so much stuff you can do with a 4-pan palette. But yeah, I really enjoy it. So look. So I'm starting off with this shade and just in a big fluffy brush applying it all over my crease. Just like that. In under 2 seconds, it's blended and visible. And doing the same in my other eye. Getting a little bit of a smaller brush and going into the next shade. Just applying it on the other corner. And back into the big brush. Now I'm going to apply this one all over my lid. Just with my finger and try not to poke myself in the eye to do it. Just getting a smaller brush and the first shade underneath my lash line and the darkest shade now. Tiny brush, lightest shade, inner corner. So yeah, that has been my go-to look with this palette. And as you can see, it's really romantic, really soft, really pretty, really mauvey, and I really like it. So yeah, so I also want to show you swatches of the quad, so let's get into that. So as you can see, really creamy, really sparkly, really smooth, really even, just awesome formulation as per usual. So yeah, you guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this video helped you make a decision if you should or shouldn't get a quad. Let me know if you did pick up one or if you're intending to picking one up, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.